Hello everyone, my name is Jesus Chavez and we are here to present the manufacturing of a waste to energy power plant to be done in Guangdong, China. This is the table of contents of the plan that we put together. Globalization has encouraged or forced business to do business overseas, used to take advantage of the different available resources, and this is what we're going to present here. The concept. The concept is to basically convert municipal solid waste, garbage, into energy through a process called pyrolysis or gasification. This is basically a process to create renewable energy, and it will produce the byproducts syngas, which can run an electric generator and create or generate electricity. Here I have to explain a couple of concepts. One of them is pyrolysis, which is basically a process to cook without oxygen above 400 degrees Celsius. And gasification is the process basically also by cooking at a high temperature above 700 degrees Celsius. Now the byproduct, what we're producing from the conversion of putting the garbage to this pyrolysis and gasification, will be the production of syngas, which can run a generator, or biocharge. Biocharge is a soil enhancer, and in addition, carbon. But it will be a smokeless energy, carbon. The reason for this product, for this building of this waste to energy power plant, is because we want to reduce the pollution and the landfills created by man. It's also a way to create renewable energy. The most important is that by the pyrolysis gasification process, we will basically take care of all the debris, all the garbage, food waste, municipal waste, and create a renewable byproduct that we can utilize. And this plant will be established in Asia. This is basically explaining the way the operation will flow. You can see the garbage truck indicating that the garbage will come in, and you see on the left hand side, the right hand side, which is basically the large items will be sorted or separated, metal and glass also, and the rest will come right through the process to create gas, coal, or biochar. And this is a different plan that basically indicates through the black arrows how the garbage, the manufacturing power plant that we're considering is to produce or convert or process 300 metric tons per day of garbage or solid municipal solid waste, which is MSC. And once it comes to the process, which is the blue box, we will generate electricity. More or less, the production of 300 metric tons will produce around 75 megawatts per day, and about 12 to 20% of biochar, which is the soil enhancer. Now, at the top, you can see the blue arrow indicating the syngas will basically recycle, because the syngas will be utilized to keep this energy power plant self-sufficient. The process that we're gonna do with this waste to energy power plant, and it makes sense, is because it will be a closed loop system. Basically, it is everything is enclosed, no air contaminants will be in the atmosphere, and the waste will be tightly under control. The conditions will be totally controlled, so there will be no emissions. We think that Guangdong, China, it's a nice place, a perfect place to not only produce but also sell this concept. And the reason is because the air pollutants that are in this area, and also the increasing emissions that are in this particular region. And the most critical and interesting was the fact that technology could be easily duplicated, and the fact that some of the technology actually will be created in Silicon Valley. poses a very interesting challenge, not only on the legal and political aspect, but the fact that piracy is a constant there. So for all these reasons, we decided to not only produce but also sell and take the product to this region. When we looked into the market analysis, we did look that people are investing in China, although they have some legal and economic risk. And the legal is, we already mentioned about the piracy aspect. Uh, but the thing is that there is economic potential, profit potential, and that's the reason that we're trying to tap into this particular pool of funds that are available, not only to produce but also to go and sell the equipment over there. We also looked into the social cultural challenges. We understand the business practice is different, religious is different, communication is another aspect that we're not totally 100% you know have 100% control of that particular area. But the economic potential, the profit potential is overwhelming, and that's the reason we decided to go in. This slide shows you how many people are there in this particular area of Guangdong, which is over 100 million people, and the purchasing price per capita it's about $10,000 per year. But the thing that to have this type of equipment is the two things: the waste garbage generation and the ability that they have to buy things. So it makes sense because they produce a lot of garbage, and there is money to be made. Um, and the last particular point, it expects garbage to be 7% increase, and that's a lot of potential. Trying to enter a market of this nature requires caution, and there's challenges. One of the challenges is the licensing, for which we were trying to start with a joint venture, and the objective will be to achieve a wholly owned subsidiary in China and Vietnam. The reason we're choosing between China and Vietnam because those two countries have a similarity in the way the government involvement and the way they do things. Um, and that's the strategy will be to do an alliance with a already established business, so we can start the pro- the reason to go to Guangdong, China, and start manufacturing to a waste to energy power plant is obviously to take advantage of the resources, also of Vietnam, that we're focusing on those two particular areas, and the objective will be to achieve a local strategy, which is be able to take advantage of the economies of scale and the labor costs. Um, it also makes sense because logistically they're very close, so you can take the product in and out of the country. Um, some technology components also will be shipped or taken to this area from the Silicon Valley and Japan, for which strategic alliances have to be formed in these two areas. The entry mode to a market like this, Vietnam or China, is in the beginning will be a joint venture, which is basically to acquire the knowledge to all the differences in the language, the culture, and the political aspect. And but the objective will be to own a wholly owned subsidiary and to take advantage of the resources that are presented. And the reason we want a wholly owned subsidiary is so we can have control, and we can increase the value added through a new subsidiary in another country. The reason we decided to build a manufacturing area between China and Vietnam is for the resources that are offered, so we can stay competitive in the market. Um, it will offer offers not only the labor, which is low cost, but also we will be saving in the materials that we need, and the education and employment conditions are ideal to establish a manufacturing in this area. To have manufacturing in this region is not easy, and we will try to achieve a polycentric staffing policy, which is basically have every unit be managed by their own local people, but an expat has to be overseeing operations in that region, for which he has to be in constant communication with the back office, with headquarters, or back here, back to the U.S. The living of this expat will be in Taiwan. We analyze that Taiwan is an area that makes it attractive because a lot of the professionals in this country are educated in the U.S. and English is spoken, which is comfortable for a manager to live and reside. Besides, it's only like 700 miles, so a quick flight will go back and forth within these 2 points. The compensation package that we were thinking is not only giving living and travel expenses, additional with the U.S. salary, the person that will be managing this region, but also perks and accommodations when this person needs to go on vacation will be part of the structure. In addition to the opportunity or ability to come back to home to work at the home office after 2 years working in that region. For the locals, we will compete with the country labor standards or local pay, and there will be a bonus added for producing at an efficient rate. The support for this region will be basically how to hire or recruit somebody with Cantonese or Vietnamese and Mandarin ability in the Silicon Valley, and so they have to put together a manual and communication channel, all in these different languages. Who to sell this technology or this equipment besides the area where we're going to be manufacturing is the whole world. Uh, but the main ones in this particular region, which is a huge market, it's private companies which they produce waste because we can go in, clean up their garbage and produce energy. Also, the government, uh, another good client because the government is very involved in a lot of different aspects of business in the region. Three main reasons to build that waste to energy power plant. It's because we get money just by collecting the trash that people ordinarily dump somewhere in a landfill. Everywhere when you take garbage, you have to pay by the metric ton. Then we process this garbage and the gas that we produce, we run a generator and we sell the electricity. And the biochar or coal that is also produced, it's a byproduct that we can bring in profits from. Once again, this is just the technology that basically tells you how it is that we process this garbage. So we process this garbage by putting it through the system, the technology, and we cook it. Basically, we cook it with that oxygen, and we produce gas and we produce biochar. And the images on the right, it tells you a little bit of the process and how it is done. Thank you.